Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a new episode of Lifestyle with Dr. Moby. I'm Dr. Moby. Welcome you today. And before we start our great program, I just want to again kind of run few tips for our audience, and it's based on my book, Keep It Simple: Diet, Sleep, and Exercise, always available online. So a few things very important to me and is that teenager lifestyle, which actually is very important because that's where I think a lot of issues I see in practice and also in real life. A lot of teenagers come to us and they are not clear about diet, healthy lifestyle, or they don't have the information or they have too much information. And the problem is that they don't know which information is accurate. There's too much confusing information also. So I'll talk a little bit briefly about some of those issues. So number one is about sleep. So my philosophy is always make sure for teenagers get enough hours. So if you don't sleep 9-10 hours minimum, there's a big problem because lot of problem with concentration, hyperactivity happens, and memory happens because they're not getting enough hours. So that is number one reason for a lot of problem with behavior we see in clinical practice and also in other issues. Other thing which I also want to emphasize is during these years it's very important that our body is going through changes, especially for sleep. So what is happening to our brain is the sleep has a tendency to delay phase, which means that sleep cycle runs like a clock, clockwise always forward, which means if I want to be up late at night, it's very easy to do that. And this tendency of body is maximum during teenage years. So what it means that if they are up 3-4 o'clock at night, it's very easy for them to do that, but problem happens next day. So that's called social jet lagging. So make sure on weekend don't go too wild on that and don't sleep too many hours because it's very hard to catch up on Monday and when they have to go to school. So that's the key is yes, you want to always sleep more, but you don't want to mess up total routine over weekend. So pay attention to that because that is very, very important. Second thing is about make sure have consistency, great hours, which we talked earlier. Third is make sure if there's a problem with any of sleepiness, get evaluated by your physician. Make sure medications can cause a lot of problems. Other issues we'll talk a little bit about diet understanding from two interns in our office, and I'm gonna give them now stage to introduce themselves and then we'll start our program. Thank you. So we have first guest.
I'm Cindy.
Great.
I love to play sports. That takes part. That's why I love eating healthy because I play sports, and in order to be good at the sports and stay in shape, I have to have a good diet.
Okay, great. So wow, that is really impressive that they are very focused on that. I'm really happy to hear that. And
Hi, I'm Nyeska. I play soccer too, and I'm a vegan actually, so I like to eat like healthy foods. And since I'm a vegan, I play like sports. I have to eat a lot of proteins and good foods to actually help me with my activities and stuff like that.
okay, great. See, and I also want to ask you, you play football or soccer? Soccer? Right.
Yeah.
Okay, great. You also play
Yeah,
soccer?
I play soccer and field hockey.
Oh, field hockey too. Very good. Okay, so do you find that very helpful for your basically overall health that keeps you going in more focus?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, and so tell me about some of the routine. We'll talk a little bit when you wake up. What do you like to eat in breakfast and So we'll go with you first.
For breakfast, I usually what my go-to is normally like a bagel or like a waffle with like probably water or maybe some orange juice. Nothing too much, but because in the morning I'm normally not that hungry, but I do need something to keep me going for the day.
Okay, going further. And what about you?
Normally for me, when I wake up, I eat a bag of salad, but not too much, because in the mornings I'm not really that hungry either, but I like to eat
Okay.
some food.
Okay. Well, the important thing is, we all need to pay attention to make sure have breakfast. So breakfast is very important meal. I know, same for me. I never wanted to do breakfast before, and now I force myself to make sure I eat good some breakfast and pay attention to calories. So you don't need to eat too many carbs in the morning, but pay attention. You really need to eat something because your body really is starting, and drink plenty of water in the morning. So a lot of patients ask me actually best detox agent, and I say best is drink water in the morning when you wake up, because that flushes your kidneys and gets you going for rest of the day. And then let's catch up on lunch. And do you ever take some lunch breaks or?
Yeah, for lunch, what I normally eat is something like a small salad or nothing too heavy. Like at home, I'll normally make something. Sometimes I'll make like eggs and then with like salad on the side. I try to like balance it.
Okay. And for you, do you care about lunch?
For me, for lunch, I always cook vegetables with sometimes in my food, like rice with vegetables on the side.
Okay, so you like those. Okay, great. Okay, and then what time you go for your sports?
I normally play around like 4 to 7. That's when I start playing. But I also in the mornings I do like to go for a run. And if I don't go in the morning, I try going at night, and just to keep me going.
Okay, and how much you run normally? Is there a specific routine you follow?
I normally just run around my neighborhood. It's about 2 miles the run.
2 miles?
Yeah, around
Okay.
there.
Okay, what about you?
For me, same. When we play soccer, it's from 4 to 7 in the mornings. I always work out before I eat to burn out some fat that's like inside of me. And I usually run around my neighborhood too, and I work out on my body too.
Okay, great. So do you do fast running or just the steps, or do you like run at a certain speed or to keep up your stamina?
Personally, what I do is I try to run like at a certain pace and not tire myself out because I want to stay running as much as possible. I don't want to go too fast because then I'll just get myself more tired and then I'll want to stop. So I try to keep it all in one go.
Okay, great. And what about you?
For me, I have time runs. I usually do 30-minute jog, and then for now on, I do like a 30-minute run.
Okay, and you are too well versed with interval training, so like with normal speed you take like few fast steps or running like 5-10 minutes to get your heart rate to certain. So you can practice some of that keeps your stamina in good. So it's a good thing you don't need to run like really fast to all the time. It's just like few in between, maybe that helps stamina. That's my advice. Okay. So then do you drink, I'm sure, plenty of water with it? Okay. Do you care about any particular supplement or just water?
We just take water or Gatorade for extra boost.
Gatorade. Okay. And pay attention to cramps and so forth, right? Okay, great. Do you ever experience cramps with that?
A lot.
Yeah, it happens a lot.
Okay, and what do you do then?
What I do is I drink water.
Okay.
It's like
I stretch it out.
Stretch out. Okay, so make sure take a balanced. So if you do water, put some salt a little bit or lime or whatever you like, lemonade type. So that helps. So the electrolytes, potassium, sodium, very important. Okay. So for cramps, and I know you do. Make sure you're so well hydrated. That's the key. So what about dinner?
Dinner I try to eat less because that's when I have like a timer. I don't let myself eat after 7 because if I eat after 7, it'll just like I feel like it's just not healthy.
Exactly.
So I try to make it lighter. I try making my most plate lunch, but I definitely do like to eat dinner. It's not too much, but like
some.
yeah, enough to
Okay.
do the job.
For me, at the end of the day of the night, usually I eat after, like before 7 too, so I cannot eat a little after. And I eat vegetables too to help it, and I eat under 12 minutes so I could help chew my food and not eat too fast.
Okay.
And drink a lot of water too.
Okay, and I think that's a great point. They're already very smart kids, I can tell. So, yes, that's a great point. Eat slowly, take your time, enjoy food, because one of the worst thing can happen is that we eat very quickly and then we don't know what we ate and we don't even enjoy the food. So, very important that we pay attention to timing and eat, take your time to eat. The other thing they mentioned very good was that late night eating. So I'm not big fan of that because problem number one is that you have all the food sitting in the stomach and the body has no way to get rid of than to dump it to the liver, and then liver will store unfortunately most of it as fatty food or fatty liver, and people are developing a lot of fatty liver problems because of that, because your only few areas in the body which can burn, which will be muscles, and if they are not active then has to be stored. So make sure don't eat too heavy at night, because and if you do some make sure take a walk after that before you go to bed, not running but walking, because what it's going to do is going to help to digest that and also give time between time you go to bed to actual time you ate. So timing, I think for her 7 o'clock is fine, because you give enough time for body to digest that, and because the worst thing can happen, we lay in bed and then all the food can come up. So it's very important. So now, besides that, we'll just now have an excellent one of their signature dish, and we'll talk a little bit about that. So tell me about this dish.
So this dish is called ensalada de repollo, which translates to cabbage salad, basically. It does. A lot of people don't like dressing, and that's a reason why they don't like to eat salad, because they don't want it just the like salad part. So what we use, instead of any dressing, we use just lemon, which adds a little bit of flavor. And we have tomatoes in it, cucumbers, a little bit of salt and pepper, and there's also optional choices like meat or jalapenos.
Okay, great. And I know you told me you are a vegetarian, so for you this is perfect, right?
Yes, especially because I don't like dressing at all.
Okay, great. And that's a great point. So a lot of people actually don't pay attention to those, and I'm so impressed by their knowledge. Number one thing is the dressing look at the calories. So look at the label at the back, and those will have at least roughly about 150 calories or so. So you can really pump up the calories, and by time people eat salad, it's already 500 or 600 calories, and then they wonder they don't lose weight. Well, it won't, because you have added too many calories. So yes, my also favorite is actually lime, which they have, and I love it because first of all it has 0 calories for purpose of calculation, and it flavors it nicely, and so very light, and you can always add some salt or different, and they don't have too many calories either. So so we'll talk a little bit about now how we prepared this. So
all right. First, what we like to do is we add the tomatoes. After the tomatoes, we add lemon, and then cucumbers. Mix it up, and then as you're mixing it, you add a little bit of salt and pepper.
So okay, and then what about and it's easy to make, right?
Yeah,
it's probably
very easy.
So it is very important. So you can actually serve it with. You can do it with meat, and we have here beef, and you can do chicken too. So that's very easy to do at this time. So for our demonstration purposes, we'll mix it up and have one presentation for audience. So if you want to mix it up for us.
All right, so first what we like to put is the tomatoes.
Mm-hmm.
We like to just put it in there and then mix them up.
Mm-hmm.
And after the tomatoes, we like to add the lime.
Yeah, lime looks so it's already, I can feel the water.
After we put the lemon, I like to put a little bit of cucumbers. This is all optional, at least for the cucumbers. It's optional with the meat and peppers.
Well, personally, I love cucumbers, so
Yeah.
keep on adding. That's great.
Like,
Okay, great. Okay, good. Yeah, so it got very colorful.
Yeah.
Green and red, and it looks really yummy.
yeah. And so after a little bit, you just add a little bit of salt. I like to personally use pink salt or sea salt because it is healthier than regular salt.
Okay, so it tastes better too.
Yeah, it also tastes better and it's healthier, so it's a win-win.
Yeah, good. Okay, and then you add some peppers.
Yeah, you can add peppers or you can add meat, whatever you decide. Depends on a person's preference.
So you can mix it with meat, and you can use some tortillas carefully
Yeah.
too if you want. But pay attention again to calories. So these have really very good at that portion size. So you can eat a smaller portion of here, and that would be perfect with this. You can actually mix this with that. Now, for demonstration purpose, this is beef shawarma, and this is Mediterranean with some pickles. So you can mix it with salad, or if you are vegetarian, you can just eat by itself with pepper. So those are all great options, and then there will be I think not very heavy for somebody, and then it will really help, very healthy on the your exercise program, right? Okay, and that was wonderful, and I think that was excellent dish. So we'll talk a little bit in Spanish for our Spanish audience. So if you can just describe the dish in Spanish. for them.
The dish prácticamente lo que tiene limón, pepino, tomate, sal. Yo me utilizo sal del mar y porque es más saludable. Yeah. Con ensaladas también se pueden usar cosas como empanadas, tacos. Si quieren hacer una fajita, pueden hacer una fajita. Para cualquier cosa le pueden usar.
Okay. Okay. Also, just a little bit about eating healthy. Some tips in Spanish, and about healthier diet. If you wanna say a few words about in Spanish, there will be few.
Una cosa que el doctor estaba diciendo es que es bien importante que uno come en la mañana y come en el mediodía y no come mucho para el fin del día, porque como uno no va a estar haciendo nada, van a ir a dormir ya luego, no es recomendable a comer tarde. Lo que el doctor estaba diciendo que es buena hora comer antes de las 7 de la tarde, porque le da al cuerpo suficiente tiempo para poder digest everything.
Well, thank you for both coming. It was pleasure. And so, just final tips for audience. Just you can see you can have a lifestyle which you can keep rest of life, enjoy, and keep eating healthy and doing exercise and pay attention to your sleep. Make sure get adequate hours, and you can always check us on the web as well as Twitter, website. Feed us with your comments. We'll be happy to have, and maybe send us some questions about recipes if you need. We'll happily you can read all the recipe actually along with this or underneath this or on the side. And good night. Thank you for watching our show.